Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm doing another different video. This is actually a collaboration with a bunch of mothers. Chantel is like the leader of the collaboration that put this collab together, and basically we're sharing with you our top 5 favorite children's books. Now my children are a little older, they're 9 and 12 years old, but that doesn't mean that we love books, that we cherish and love them and appreciate them. And at a very young age, I started reading to my children. I actually started really reading to them when they were in the womb, and when they were born, when they were nursing, I read to them. Some of the material I read to them maybe not necessarily was kid friendly, but I was still reading to them. So they enjoy that. They get a lot of comfort from reading, a lot of relaxation from reading that they learned and started at a very young age. So when my children were old enough to comprehend and to understand books and animations and different wording and descriptions of books, we actually, my first favorite is the Eric Carle. Anything from Eric Carle. We read books like Brown Bear, The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Here's a book that we still have. We have a few of them left. Like, my kids are 9 and 12 years old, but we have a few of them left in the house because we're not ready to part with them. They love this one. This was the 10 Little Rubber Duckies. These books are great. Eric Carle's great because of, not only because everything's very simply put in the books, like very cute and very simply, the illustrations are just beautiful. Another favorite is Polar Bear, What Do You Hear? Now, I read these to my children when they were toddlers and preschoolers, but that didn't mean when they were starting to learn to read, when they were preschool, kindergarten, first grade, that we still read these books, because there is a site called AR. I think it's called AR. If you just do like a Google search for it, it can tell you what level each book is. So for example, Polar Bear is it's a second grade level book. So I'm reading these books to my toddler, my preschooler, which in turn, when they're learning to read, they can read back to me. And they're simple. They're not super long. They're not long chapter books. And they're just beautiful, beautiful books. We actually use some of these books to reference for science fairs and things like that. A couple of the books we no longer have because they were just worn and tethered, and we ended up throwing them out. But like I said, we have a few of them still left. Another book, so we're kind of moving out of the toddler and preschool and the early reading level. And one of the books that my daughter, who is in 4th grade this year, loved the series, the Junie B. Jones series. Any of these chapter books were wonderful for my daughter. She's just loved. If you have like a really advanced 1st grader, 2nd grade, 3rd grader, and even just a 4th grader, it's nice, easy read for them. Junie B starts out being, I believe, a kindergartner, works her way into 1st grade, and it kind of goes through all these like goofy, crazy things, dealing with her teachers, to her siblings, to her parents. And like you can see, we have tons of these books, and these books are just great. They even have books like for Valentine's Day. So if you want to read and pull this book out right now, they have books for the Easter Bunny. I actually think my daughter got this one year for Easter. They talk about a bus if your daughter or even your son could even enjoy these books. They talk about when she starts in band. So it's just a great little series, and my daughter has really, really enjoyed these series. And she, like I said, she's in 4th grade. It is a quick read for her because I think some of them are anywhere from a 2nd to a 3rd grade level, maybe early 4th grade level. So great books. Now my daughter is now getting into these books, but my son adored these books. The Diary of a Wimpy Kid. This is a whole series about this quirky boy and his adventures in schools with his peers, his family, his siblings, neighborhood people. My son loved these books, and there is just tons and tons of these books that we have in our home. They have been loved and tattered, and now my daughter is getting into these books. Now these are a little bit harder to read. My son started reading these in 3rd grade. He's now in 7th grade. He's beyond the Diary of the Wimpy Kid. And My daughter is now getting into these books, and she's in 4th grade. So I would say if you have an advanced 3rd grade level reader, and you can look it up on the AR site, and you can find out what level each of the books are. They're great books. And like I said, he started reading these in 3rd grade, and my daughter's in 4th grade, and she's now getting into these. So I'm actually able to use these, even though it's a story all around a young boy, she's actually getting great fun out of these books. So just a great series, The Diary of a Wimpy Kid. So for my 4th and 5th book, these books we actually, not saying the other books we didn't enjoy as a family, but these books we started reading to my kids when they got kind of past the Eric Carle and the picture book series, and they were able to sit for a period of time and listen to chapter books. But I was reading these books to them, and sometimes they would read pages back or chapters back and vice versa. So we did a lot of these books during the summertime. We read these books, and the series, The Little House on the Prairie, it's just a classic. Laura Ingalls Wilder and Laura Ingalls, who wrote these books. We enjoyed these. Both of my kids enjoyed these. We have read these together. There are sometimes little pictures in here, but my kids, I would sit back and read these to them in the evenings or even in the summertime, and we would go through the series with both of my children, and they enjoyed them. And I would say this is probably a 4th, maybe an advanced 3rd grade level, 5th grade, because we were reading these in 5th grade, and we still kind of do them. My son just entered in 7th grade this year, and my daughter's in 4th grade. Another one is, we live in Michigan, and there's this author that wrote these Michigan Chiller books, and it's about, if you know much about Michigan, we have a lot of communities like that are off of the Great Lakes, and they're really cool towns and really cool cities. And in these books, they make these like chilling, spooky adventures through each of the towns. And some of these towns we actually physically visited while camping. And they have this one, which is The Poltergeist in Petoskey, which is a little bit northern Michigan. The Mackinac City Mummies. We're actually visiting Mackinac City, my daughter and I, with her Girl Scouts troops this year, and my son is doing it for a 7th grade trip. So it's all about these mummies taking over Mackinac City. Another one is my family grew up and spent all their summers in Kaysville. So my kids, when they actually went up to Kaysville, we read it the following summer, The Catastrophe in Kaysville. So this is off of Lake Huron, this town. And then The Aliens Attack Alpena. So these are all these chilling books. I don't know if they have them for other states, but I know if you have visited Michigan or if you live in Michigan, these are great books. So those are my top 5 favorite children's books. I would like to thank Chantel, who was the head leader, collaborator, put this all together for us mothers, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the other videos and looking at them to maybe hopefully get some suggestions and ideas for my children for their reading list. And if you enjoy this video, or if you have any comments or questions about any of these books, please let me know in the comments below, and give me a thumbs up if you want to see more videos. And remember, if you don't want to miss any videos from me, hit subscribe. I know Chantel is also going to do a playlist, so as soon as I get that playlist, will be down below. And until next time, I'll see you guys soon.